Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame, though it might be nice to own a jet plane.
What is going on, guys? My name is 4G, so today I wanted to make a video talking about Fortnite Season X.
Season X is here, and the world is destabilizing fast.
It's probably one of the most hated seasons in Fortnite so far, and I want to talk about that because I don't personally hate Fortnite Season X. I think that there is a lot of good that a lot of people forget about, especially when you compare it to Fortnite today. Now, there's a lot of problems, and I'm also going to talk about that in this video, but there's so much good that I almost feel like it outweighs the bad a little bit. I don't know. Regardless, though, really quickly before I start this video, if you guys enjoy, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you enjoy Fortnite videos like this, you can also hit that subscribe button, as I upload videos like this all the time. So let's jump right into the video, guys. So let's start out with the cons, okay, the negatives. So the bad side about Fortnite Season X, of course, is the mechs. The mechs are not something that I think were a good idea at all. Just like everyone's most common opinion, the mechs were terrible. Not only for the fact that they were imbalanced, but they just didn't feel like they fit Fortnite. You know, I just don't see that in my opinion. It just didn't fit. If you ever saw them in competitive, which is crazy to think that they were even in competitive, they were the most broken things available, like in the history of Fortnite. They were honestly, in my opinion, worse than the Infinity Blade, just for the fact that there was more than one, and they were there for at least like a month or two in the season. And yeah, that's still crazy to me. That's one thing about Chapter 2 I will say is great. Epic finally having separate loot pools kind of when it comes to competitive and public matches, but regardless, the negatives, the Brute Mech, horrible decision. Glad that they got rid of that eventually, and I'm glad that towards the end of the season, they started to get rid of them. They would land on the ground, they would still be there technically, but they would explode right away and you couldn't use them. That is really the only reason why I see Season X as a very fun season when I look back on it, because there was a brief time where there was no mechs in the game. Yeah, there's still other issues, and this is where I'm going to continue. Like, I still hear taco time in my nightmares. Crop hunt in Paradise Palms, or Moisty Myers, or Moisty Palms as it was eventually changed into. Zombies in Retail Row, which I don't know what they were thinking about that, but you know, the pro of that is that you could get some great loot at Retail Row just because of those zombie spawners. They dropped so much great loot, if you remember that. That was the great part about that. You know, so yeah, it was really annoying. Taco time, I don't know what they were thinking about that. I don't know why they had all these gimmicks when it came to these POIs that they were adding and bringing back and stuff, because if they didn't have the gimmicks, if they didn't have the Brute Mech in the game, Season X could have been one of the best seasons ever. And it wouldn't be the most hated season, even though it really shouldn't be. Because going into the pros of this, first of all, in my opinion, it had a great battle pass. A great battle pass. Tilted technique, fantastic. The Catalyst skin, fantastic. And the Ultimate Knight, I mean, as someone who has the Black Knight originally, I think it's a great idea to have that. I know that it was just remakes of older skins pretty much, but I mean, in my opinion, Tilted technique looks better than technique, you know? I mean, that's coming from someone who has every single battle pass. I think that the Season X technique looks way better. The battle pass being one of the best, again, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm going to drop that in my opinion. That kind of goes without being said. But the battle pass was one of the best. We had so many content updates. I took that for granted back then, and I'm sure a lot of you guys did as well. Every single week, and without fail, we would get some form of content, whether it's a new item, a new weapon. Not only that, but we would also get new POIs every single week added to the map. That was something that they've just never done since, and I don't know if they ever will. I mean, this season, Chapter 2, Season 7, there's a possibility that it could be like that, kind of, because of course we have Tilted in the loading screen or whatever. I think we're gonna get Tilted eventually throughout the season, and Coral Castle is gonna get destroyed based off of leaks, you know, spoiler alert. But even then, it's not going to be like it was in Season X, where we got a new POI literally every week added into these content updates. It was fantastic. They packed so much content into these seasons, and I'm not saying that you should even do the amount of content that they did, but they really spoiled us, I guess you could say, because that was insane how much content. We had the junk rift. We had that one trap where it was like a lightning trap, but like it wasn't an actual like didn't take up your trap slot. It took up a weapon slot for whatever reason, or an item slot in your inventory, and you could throw it. That, I mean, regardless of how cool or how broken, annoying, whatever this stuff could have been, it was still new content to come and use every week. It brought you back to the game, and it made you want to play still. Well, it did for me at least. Maybe not everyone, which is probably why it turned into the most hated season. But this season could have been perfect. If they had separate loot pools for the items that they add for competitive and public match. If they had no Brute Mechs, I don't know what they were thinking with that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to use. And honestly, in Team Rumble, they were kind of fun. I will say that. But it was Team Rumble. Who cares about Team Rumble? You know, we can have fun with broken things like that in Team Rumble. You respawn. What's the big deal? But in a Battle Royale, that was ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking with that. And these whole rift zones, as they called them, with like Tilted Town. I almost forgot about Tilted Town. Not being able to build in a game where the reason that there is things like Bloom is because of the fact that we have building. I don't think that Tilted Town should have ever been like that. Tilted Town itself, the POI itself, I mean, that was kind of cool. And, you know, even to an extent, the rift zone was kind of cool. But, I don't know, it was just such a mess with these rift zones. I wish that they would have just brought back the POIs, brought these POIs with no rift zones. And I think personally it could have been one of the best seasons ever. And I don't know, I still think it was a great season, and I'm still hoping that one day they have a season like that where every single week we get new content updates. But I just can't see that happening. I understand that the developers were being, you know, time crunched back then and stuff like that, and I gotta say that was, you know, when it comes to content though, it was absolutely fantastic, the amount of content. But I guess at the same time, you can't always look at it with quantity over quality. But I don't know, we had patch notes back then, we had a whole bunch of returning POIs and new POIs as well. Like I said, like Tilted Town, that was new, completely brand new. It was just, in my opinion, a great season. And other than, like I said, the mechs in the first month really bothered me, you know, especially before they nerfed them and stuff like that. So for final conclusion, Season X could have been the best season if they never added mechs, if they had no rift zones, and if they had separate loot pools for competitive and public match games for all the new items. It could have been fantastic, and I hope that one day they do something similar with a season. Maybe if there is a Chapter 2 Season X, maybe they do that. I don't know. But yeah, also it had one of the best events ever. I mean, yeah, it sucked that the old map was destroyed or it left or whatever happened during that time. It sucks that that happened, but the event itself was the first event where it kind of like played with your emotions. You know, that you got that epic sad music that was playing. It was pretty crazy, honestly. And it's definitely my favorite event they've ever had, because it was just, well, it's the most insane, and you can't really do that every season for sure. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Did you like Season X or did you hate Season X? I feel like the majority of people are going to say that they hate Season X because, well, you know, all the problems I listed. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you are new here and you liked Fortnite videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all my content. And lastly, if you guys would like to support me, make sure to use code YouTube. It's Forging the Fortnite item shop. I do get a small portion of that sale if you do use my code. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.